Hey everyone, BitVersandy here, and I want to show you all a new tool that I found called the Bit Heroes bot on Discord. That's perfect for Bit Heroes players. This bot is designed to help you find all of the information you need about familiars, fusions, equipment, their recipes, and more. So let's dive in and take a look. So the bot has a variety of features that make it incredibly useful. You can quickly look up information about any familiar in the game, find out what familiars and materials are needed for that specific fusion. You can also see stats and abilities for different pieces of equipment and even get the recipes for particular gear, such as like ancient gear, including all the materials that it would take to get the ancient gear maxed out all the way up at tier 20. Plus, the bot is constantly updated with new information, so you'll always have the latest data at your fingertips. So let me show you how the bot works. So first things first, you'll want to join the Discord that hosts the bot. I left a link to their Discord in the description, and you should let them know that Andy sent you. And once we're here, we can, go ahead and read the info, change logs, commands, usage help. But really, you'll just want to read through the commands and then head on down to bot-spam channel. And this is where we're really going to get our bread and butter. So basically, I want to demonstrate some of the commands that I use to access the bot and find information that we're looking for. So quite simply, if we want to find a familiar, simply do /familiar and then its name. Let's take a quick look at Penguita, who's a familiar that I'm currently working towards. So if we type in /familiar, Penguita, then it pops up. You can either click it or you can arrow keys to it and press enter and enter again. And after just a second or two, we get all of the information about Penguita, one of the legendary familiars that I'm working towards. So we can see right here, the stats with 0 in the stable, the stats with 5 in the stable. Because it's a legendary, it can get up to 105% total stats summed. Shows us the modifiers. Penguita has 20% speed bonus and 15% fire damage bonus. And it shows you even the abilities. So the 0 SP, 1 SP, so on and so on. So we can really weigh our options here. Is this familiar better than that familiar? It's super easy to pull up two familiars side by side and just look at them. So let's say, all right, we're happy with Penguita. Now, how do I get Penguita? And that's where this bot is super useful and my main use for this bot. So let's check out the /fusion command. If we do /fusion Penguita and hit enter, so now we have a list of all of the required materials and familiars it takes to fuse one Penguita. And we can even click on this fusion tree to simplify it further on. So we can see, first we need to get Crimson Pangy, turn that into Pangs. Then we need to get Oris, Orlac, and Melmarn, turn that into Ignitia. Then combine Pangs and Ignitia into Penguita. Now that's a lot easier said than done, as we do need, this Ignum Bright material, and it shows us exactly where we're going to need it. It's from the Ignited Abyss world boss, which is the tier 13 world boss. So, and we'll also need 110,000 gold along the way, 5 epic materials along the way, as well as 150 atomic bricks, which it shows here is dropped from raid 11 normals, hards, and heroics. And what is super nice is when we look at these familiars that we need, it shows that we need 1 Melmarn, and it comes to us from Zone 10, Dungeon 2 or 4. We need 1 Orlac that comes from Zone 11, D2 or D4, and so on and so on. It is so nice just being able to look at a glance what familiars you need and where to grab them. This is an amazing time saver because it literally pretty much gives you a checklist to go down and just makes finding this info so easy. Before I was doing this, I would find the familiar that I wanted in the wiki. I would follow the familiars in the fusion that it needed and follow those material pages, and I would just end up having like a dozen wiki pages open by the end of it, and it was just impossible to keep track of. But right here, it literally congregates the info for you. Get it? Like, congregate. Anyways, Finding the familiars and fusions is great with this bot. And let me also show you how it works with gear, such as like ancient gear. So we're gonna look at one that's super popular. We're gonna look at Starweave. So we can super quickly just look up what it takes to make Starweave. So let's do the slash recipe. And now it has two of them here because one is a ring and one is a necklace. We'll just go with the one that is first here. I'm not actually sure if it's the ring or the neck. So we can look and it shows, okay, Starweave, you're gonna need 1,000,000 gold just to craft it, and you'll need all of these materials. Now we can even simplify it further by showing, okay, all of these, you'll need 5 of these, 5 of those, 3 of these, so on and so on to make this crystal. And then you combine that crystal with the shard and 1,000,000 gold to make actual Starweave here. And you can see this is the final recipe that you'll get. Now, another interesting thing we can do to look even further into Starweave is slash gear. And we're going to pull up the Starweave ring here. And then it will show, and you can do this for any gear, and you can look it up, and it'll show the stats, and it will show what it gives. So everybody knows Starweave gives you a +1 step bonus, as long as you have at least 2 of them equipped. So if we click on upgrades here, it will show you, and this is probably more useful for if you're like in a lower tier, just upgrading a legendary set or mythic equipment. But I'll show you this for Starweave. If you want to get it +4, basically max upgraded in your tier, it will show you what you need. So this would need 1,000,000 gold, 100 epic materials, and then 2,500 beanstalks, which is the tier 9 legendary material. Now, this is super useful for, legendary sets, whatever, if you're in a little bit of a lower tier. But let's say you're a tier 20 Andy, and you're like, okay, I don't care about it being tier 9 +4. I care about it being tier 20 +4. And that is where this juicy button called Reforges comes in. If you click on Reforges, okay, we got to scroll a bit. It gives you everything you need to get to tier 20 +4. Now, this is a long list with a lot of rare materials because Starweave is an ancient equipment piece that needs a lot of stuff to get to max tier. What do you know? So it's an amazing tool to just see like, okay, I'm going to need 12,000,000 gold on this journey. We're going to need 1.2 thousand epic materials. We're going to need more of those beanstalks. We're going to need crumbles, 2 fakes, on and on and on and on. And you're just going to need all this stuff. Now, this is 1,000,000 times easier than going through the wiki, finding out every single step along the way, or maybe watching a guide or a video that lays this all out. It's incredible. This gives you a checklist. You can copy paste this and just knock them off one by one by one by one. Like, okay, I have this. I'm going for this. I have this now. Cross it off. Go, go, go. It's just such a time saver to just have this at your fingertips. So let's say you're looking on here and you're like, oh my gosh, what's a radioactive fry? I have no idea. The bot is super useful for that because you can also just do slash materials, sorry, and then type in like, let's go radioactive fries. Okay, and then we click, hit enter, and it says, okay, these radioactive fries you're looking for are dropped in tier 19. So it's the tier 19 legendary material. Now it's kind of goofy. It'll say it's from this world boss on normal, hard, and heroic. But it's basically, I just know this one's from all tier 19. So the slash material is really nice as well. One downside to this bot that I've noticed so far, and it's not a major downside, it's still a huge time saver, is that a lot of these mythic materials do not show up. So if I look for something like this first mythic that we need, Tuvo Flake on here. So let's do slash material Tuvo Flake. It finds it, it recognizes it. However, it doesn't give us where to get it from. So this is still something you would have to go to the wiki, which isn't the end of the world. So yeah, still just having this list and most of the materials at your fingertips, I've only noticed some of the mythic and ancient materials don't show up with the sources. But all of the legendary ones and above do show up right away. And having this at your fingertips is a game changer for planning your grinds and seeing what you need to get your build set up. There is a lot of other cool commands here. I'll just switch to the commands list. You can check out any piece of gear, any set info. You can check out any mount. As we looked at, you can check out any familiar. Slash enemy is really cool. I want to show you that one. So let's say we are a tier 4 Andy, and we are having a lot of trouble in the raid beating Astaroth. So we're gonna put in Astaroth, and funny enough, you can choose to fight the Gauntlet Astaroth or the normal Astaroth. We're just gonna punch an Astaroth here, and it will show you the stats for all three, normal, hard, and heroic, and what abilities the bosses have. So if you're coming up on a boss that you are just having the most trouble with, or maybe it's even just a normal familiar that you're having the most trouble with, if it is an enemy in the game, you can find them here, look at their abilities, look at their stats, and help yourself counter them. So this is just amazing for planning to beat some of those really tough bosses that are basically hurdles or walls in the game. If you see them able to damage the closest enemy, you're going to want to tank in the front. If you see them being able to damage, and this one doesn't show, but damage the weakest, you might want to bait tank, and so on and so on. So just jumping back to the commands, you can see augments, enchants, runes, consumables, so on and so on. So search, you can just like search certain things, fusions we went over, recipe we went over. There's some character info viewing stuff, so you can view a player's stats and such. You can view what they're wearing cosmetically. You can see their mount. You can see what guild they're in. You can see their name history. Now these next ones are pretty cool. Being able to see the in-game news, shop, and daily rewards and bonuses are pretty useful. I want to show you how that looks in here. So we're going to try out /news. And this just shows up what all of the news pop-ups in the game are saying, in case you want to look here in the bot instead. Maybe you want to copy and paste these, and you can't do that from the game. Could be a lot easier to just quickly check here. You can click through them, the Easter egg event. This shows a previous one from March 30th, the pre-zone event, funny enough. Goes back to March 27th, and so on and so on and so on. If we look at the most recent one, it goes through, okay, the Easter egg hunt is what we got. PvP is boosted, mythic material drop rate, PvP, gauntlet, fishing have begun, idle expedition, GVD's coming soon, as well as a little change log. So we can look as far back as February 2nd, and I don't know if you're looking to see, how long ago was this event or what, but sort of interesting, you can see old news here. Then if we want to look at like /shop, this one's pretty useful. You can literally just see, okay, what's in the shop today. For 750 gems, hyper offensive accessory box. Super quick, super fast, super useful. Honestly, you can see, okay, this ends in 2 days. I have a couple of days to buy these legendary mount boxes up. I have 15 hours to get the rest of these. And it does have one other list here because it does get a little long. I think it only shows 10 things per list. Yeah, 1 through 10, and then 11 through 11 here. And here's the global comp. So super useful if you want to be able to make sure you're catching those global comps. And now what's super, super nice is being able to see what is upcoming. So if we look at upcoming, we can see coming up in 15 hours, Mythic Badges Barrel for 3,500, all of these mounts coming in for 4.8k, Super Scroll for 700 gems. We can see Legendary Major Rune Box, Energy Pack, blah, 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 blah. Next page, we can see Zeals, Shards, Badges, Tickets, and the Microprocessing Stabilizing Chip Box. So all of these should be upcoming within the next few days, and it's just super handy if you want to, look into what should I be saving my gems for in the next few days? Should I be saving my gems in the next few days, and so on. So that's a really powerful tool with /shop. We can look into the /daily bonus as well as the /daily reward. /daily bonus is really nice. Everybody knows like what day gives what, but if you want an exact down to the second timer of how much time you have left, that is super nice. Now we have 18 hours until, the Monday bonus ends. We can also look at /daily reward, and this is just a simple, 1 through 30 days of what you'll get each day, ending with that sweet, sweet Bitcorp. We click the next page. Oh, is there 2 cycles? Holy cow, I did not know there was 2 cycles. Things are changed. Wow, it's actually eye-opening. This bot is amazing. So the bot just literally taught me something new as I'm making the video. There's two different cycles, so keep an eye out for which cycle you're on, whether you're getting, rune fragments on day 17 or gems on day 17. It could change up, so keep an eye out for that. I think the wiki might actually only show one of these cycles, so this goes a little bit above and beyond the wiki here. Lastly, you can look at things such as the events, their leaderboards and rewards, and the status of the game. So let's say you're running into a glitch or the game crashed on you. You can say, okay, was this Bit Hero's fault or my fault? Okay, it was my fault because the game data loaded, servers are connected, ping is median of 225, and so on and so on. So you can see whether or not the game is running, which sometimes, they have server issues or whatever, and this would be nice to just have a double check. So that's most of the commands. You're definitely welcome to check out the commands list here, and you just come down to bot spam, type in / whatever you want, and it's pretty intuitive. I'm sure that if I could figure it out, you all can figure it out with ease. So using the bot can save you a ton of time and effort at the end of the day. Instead of opening dozens of wiki tabs or scrolling through forums and guides online for info, you can simply ask the bot and get answers in seconds. Plus, the bot is always available on Discord, which means you can use this whether you're on PC or mobile. It's a total game changer. So that's a quick overview of this awesome new Bit Heroes bot on Discord. If you want to check it out for yourself, I will make sure to include a link to the bot in the description below. Trust me, you won't regret it. I've been using the bot for a few days now, and it's been a huge help for me. I was struggling to keep track of the familiars I needed for the Famusion, specifically Penguita, which we looked over, but the bot gave me all the info I needed right away, right there. It's been a real time saver, and I would highly recommend it to any Bit Heroes players out there. That's all for this one. Until next time, good luck with your grind.